Good evening, friends. Welcome to a mobile edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. I am outside of the home of Rex Heuermann in Massapequa Park, Long Island. My home in Long Island. I'm out here for the first time to give you guys a bird's eye view. So I want to say a thank you to the Patreon supporters and channel members and all the folks who positively engage in this community. You guys are what makes this a great place, and I thank you. So we're right outside. If you can see right where my finger's pointed, they've actually repositioned the temporary headquarters vehicle to block the media's view of the front of the home. And, you know, I agree and I disagree with that a little bit, but you still have Suffolk County Police, the state police, and Nassau County Police. So I'll just give you a quick walk of the impressive amount of police personnel out here at this location. Let me know in the video if the audio is good and the video is good, the signal is coming through well. Nassau County has their temporary headquarters vehicle out here. You got Nassau County, you got the state troopers, and also Suffolk County Police. So I just want to say thank you to the Mod Squad, the replay viewers, and everybody who positively engages. Thank you for the number ones in the chat. I really appreciate that. So I'm just going to go over here for a second because it is kind of loud over there with the generators. But so earlier on, if you could see over here, the Suffolk County Police temporary headquarters vehicle, that was not there. It was parked in the middle of the street, and they kind of catty-cornered it. I don't know if you could see, but they've catty-cornered it, and then they've catty-cornered the state police temporary headquarters vehicle. So it's almost like a block right there. And that's what they're doing to kind of stop the recording of evidence that's coming out of that location. And last week when I was here, I was down at the other end of the street, which the houses that were one block over, they are what borders the home of Rex Heuermann. So tonight, I'm still going to give you a nighttime view of Gilgo Beach. I'm going to do the drive from here. Just so you know, I'm going to do the drive from here and then head out to the beach so you guys can get a good idea of what it looks like at nighttime. Of course, I did it during the day. So during the day, you really can't get a great view. Well, during the day, you can get a great view, but nighttime is probably, if he did take his victims from this location and bring them to, obviously we know the victims were out at Gilgo Beach, but I don't think he did it during the daytime. I think he did it during cover of night. But you know who I feel sorry for is the neighbors who live in this community, and the neighbors have quite a show of media here. So this is what we got going on. This is kind of the best view I can give you guys from this location right here. Yeah, and you look at some of the houses here, and they are so well kept. And you look at these homes; they're well groomed all around. And basically, you're not on, right? You're not live. Okay, so basically, this neighborhood is just turned upside down, and you can see the massive presence of the New York State Police, Suffolk County, Nassau County, and you know all of the units that are part of the task force are down here doing the evidence removal, the evidence collection. It's a meticulous job. It has to be done right. It has to be done slowly. You cannot rush through this process. And as we could see from our backyard image, when we showed you the backyard image, it looked like massive clutter. And when we heard Chief Rodney Harrison describe him as a pack rat, that's no different with the inside of his home. Massive clutter, a lot of things to go through. They have to go through everything. So I wanted to see if there's a little peek through the trees here. And you really can't see anything because it's just a complete block off, but there's still a massive, large truck that's out in front of the location. So interesting that this presence is still here, you know, well over 7 days. I mean, we were looking at this Thursday, and We're going into Saturday night right now. So guys, if you can, please give the video a thumbs up, like, and share it out. I'm going to show you over here. This is where Mrs. DutyRon and I were parked last week, and we really didn't get out of the car. This is the first time getting out of the car, and you can see the neighborhood. I was wondering like how the neighborhood of people who live up on First Avenue, how are they getting out of their homes? How are they getting out of their homes and getting out of this block? And I'd imagine the police have to move all of their vehicles and, kind of guide people either in and out. And I'm assuming, obviously, this way nobody's getting out. So they're going to have to go up the other part of the block. And there is a contingent of officers up at the top of the block. It's on lockdown. So yeah, retired Irish detective, thanks for being here. Yeah, literally thousands of items, no doubt about that. So quite a bit of stuff here. So that's what we got going on. It's funny when you see the news reports out here. I don't know how many of you guys have been following the news reports, but all the officers are like, standing with their arms folded and standing at attention. And we're here when there's not a news report and everybody's just hanging out, which you can understand. I mean, you can't always be standing at attention at all times, but this is what we got going on here. Yeah, the clutter adds to the work. Absolutely, the clutter definitely adds. And these are folks from the neighborhood or from the community, surrounding communities. People just coming out just to see what's going on here. So, again, that is your view of the front of the home. I wish I could get it a little tighter. I think I probably can. I think I could probably get a tighter shot. I just have to try to. Hold on, guys. I'm going to see if I can get you a tighter shot. Hold on. Without completely screwing this up. Okay. That might be a better shot there. Yeah. That zooms us in a little bit better. Let's see. Hold on, folks. So let me know in the chat if that got us closer in. Looks like it did. Let me know in the chat. That is bringing us a little tighter. Yeah, it's a pretty tight shot, but it doesn't look like there's much activity going on at this point. You still see tents, the pop-up white tents out in front, and you have the evidence collection vehicles there. Yeah, I would assume that they did find quite a bit inside that home. So that's what we got going on right there. Yeah, the neighbors, but the neighbors understand that this is what has to happen. This is what they need to do. Let me just go back. Camera. So this is an ultra wide lens. This is a pretty cool view of all the vehicles. This is ultra wide on the lens. We switch back. This is the regular view. All right, guys. So that's what we got going on here. Let me just say hello to a couple people in the chat. Hello to Barbara George. Thank you for joining. Hello, M. McLaughlin, Boston. DutyRon, see Ed's invite above. Hold on a second. Is Ed in the studio? Is Ed in the studio? Because he doesn't need an invite. He can just come in at any time. So I'm looking at the chat. If you come to the corner, he'll let you in his yard. Yeah. Uh, I don't see anybody. I don't see Ed Wallace in the chat. Different Ed. No, I'm good. I don't need to come into anybody's house. I'm good. I'm good. So I'm here. I'm just going to be here for a few more minutes. This is what I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you the surrounding area here. And again, there's a lot of people walking up. As you can see, there's people walking up on a regular. And there's a group of people over here on the corner. This family right here, they came out and said, "Are you DutyRon?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And they said, "Oh, you know, we're big fans of yours." So a couple of folks in the, that are standing here actually came up to me and asked me, "Are you DutyRon?" So it's pretty interesting. But again, this is a state police temporary headquarters vehicle, the blue, and then the Nassau County temporary headquarters vehicle is right over here. I'll give you a quick look at that. So this is Nassau County here. This is their temporary headquarters vehicle. You can see it's a command post, fully connected to external power. Same thing with Suffolk County, straight across the street. You got Suffolk County's temporary headquarters vehicle. So the whole task force is here, and I'm sure units from the FBI and so forth, are on location. And you got a group of detectives. If you look straight here where my finger's pointing, there's a group of detectives in the middle of the street, right here, in between these two, right here, in between this area. So you got a group of detectives right there, and they're conversating out in front. There's a couple of suit and tie guys, and then there's a couple of plainclothes right out in front of the location. I don't know how many of you guys can see that, but that's what we got going on. Sherilyn, thank you. If you're not yet subscribed, consider subscribing to Crime Time with DutyRon. After this, we're going to take a ride out to Gilgo Beach. As you can see, it's a beautiful day, a little bit of overcast, but this is the look here. It's the crowd that's here. This is where the media always sets up, right here. Media, they have their setup right here. And this is where they do all of their broadcasting from and so forth. But I wanted to give give a little bit of a perspective right here. Jeff, good to see you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure about that, but yeah, it's definitely not nice inside. Princess Michelle, good to see you. She says yes, beautiful neighborhood. Corinne 007, thank you for being here. If I missed any super chats, thank you for joining. All right, so I'll just do a quick scan around. I'm checking the comments right now. Will they demolish that house? DH, that's a great question. One never knows what they can do, what they're going to do with that house. But I can tell you this: I mean, I wouldn't want to buy it. I saw a news reporter say that, not a news reporter, a real estate broker or real estate agent. They said if that house went up for sale, it would definitely sell. I don't know who would buy it, but I certainly wouldn't. But hey, Karen, good to see you. Thanks for joining from the United Kingdom. Always great to see you. Hello, Lorna McKenzie. Thank you for joining. Renee, thank you. Thanks, Paige. I appreciate it. Michelina, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Christina Seymour. Yeah, there's no creepy people here, but certainly outside that house, inside that house, creepy things went on. That's for sure. Yeah, Mike, you say knock it down. I say the same thing. Could you make money off that house? They said it would sell under market value due to its condition. You know what I mean? They said it would sell under market value due to its condition. So, hi, little bit. Thank you for joining. So, we're outside the home of Rex Heuermann here in Massapequa Park, Long Island. I live in Long Island, so this is a local story for me. And it's my pleasure. Jenny Peach, good to see you. It's my pleasure to bring you this type of content. This is not a gawking content type. This is for you guys to see what the scene looks like from a live stream's perspective. Hi, Black Rose 11. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so the house is just right up over here, and like I said, I got right up on it. I actually zoomed in. So if you scroll back in this video, I zoomed in on the home. You could see it's just a small shot in between this telephone pole right here. So it's a short shot right in between this RMP right here and the temporary headquarters vehicle. You can see the house just beyond that, but they've positioned these vehicles to maintain the integrity of the investigation. You know, us investigators, we like to have the least amount we want to give the least amount of help to the defense. And that's what this is about. That's, you know, I believe that these shots here are trying to preserve anything major that they take out of it. So we haven't seen reports about the medical examiner's office being here at this location, but we had heard that the Suffolk County Medical Examiner's Office responded to the storage location in Amityville. Now, that would arguably, I would arguably say that home, that storage location, to have the medical examiner respond out there would be indicating that there was perhaps some type of recovery of human remains or evidence from that has human remains on it, clothing, so forth. It could be a whole multitude of different things. So that was early news reporting. Definitely, I didn't hear anything officially from the task force or from the Suffolk County Police Commissioner. But, you know, again, we wait because all of this is unfolding on an hourly basis. Unsolved Crimes Uncovered, thank you for joining. Hi, Nikki Bella, I believe. Norma, good to see you. Gigi NYC, thank you for joining. Nikki Bella in the house, always great to see you, Nikki Bella, thank you. So we have a Suffolk County Police Sergeant right there and a New York State Trooper here as well. Again, friends, this is right outside First Avenue and Michigan Avenue, as close as the media and the public is allowed to get to Rex Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park, Long Island. And that's what we have going on right here. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate it. And if you're new, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. If you're a returning viewer, thank you. And shout out to the moderators, the replay viewers, and all the people who keep it classy in the chat. We greatly appreciate you. I respect you guys, and I thank you for being here. Again, just a glance at these homes, how beautiful the block is. I'll give you a slow look at these homes. Just really, really beautiful. Thank you for becoming a member. Let's highlight that one. Renee, thank you for becoming a member. Where did it go? In fat fingers, apologize. Tara, thank you for becoming a member. So you could see how gorgeous this area is, how beautiful this home is. Okay, so thank you for joining. So I have somebody that wants to come over and say hi. Hi guys. So do you want to be on camera? No? Yes? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was just wondering if you anything else?
I do not.
So we pulled up a little while, tearing stuff up in the backyard, grinding stuff.
Right. Everything has to be gone through. Right. They have to look at everything, and they're going to go through that house, every single piece of it.
Yeah, I heard they were hoarders, so it's going to be difficult for them, right?
You heard the police commissioner refer to him as a pack rat.
Yeah.
That was a politically correct way of saying
I apologize.
a hoarder. No. I was just telling you. You don't have to apologize, right? But yeah, that's what it is. So I'm on a live stream right now.
Yeah, I apologize.
But no, it's fine. It's fine.
She likes you. That's what she
you're a DutyRon fan?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Sure. I watched
Where are you from? Around here?
Levittown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I watched you take the drive.
Well, you made a 2-second debut on my channel. So, what's your first name?
Amanda.
Yeah. This is Amanda and her family.
Hello.
Husband? No, boyfriend? Okay. Soon to be husband? Thank you guys. Thank you. And thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. So that was Amanda checking in. That's the second set of people that have come over to me and said, hey, DutyRon, I watched the channel. So cool. Levittown, Long Island, local people, curious. And hey, thank you to everyone who's become a member here. I'm going to go over on this side because it's just a little bit better of a view. So let me get up over here. This is a look straight up the sidewalk, folks. So this sidewalk, you go 2 houses in, the hedge is there. You can see the detectives there. It's still a very active. I want to call it a crime scene, but we don't have official word that this is a crime scene. But they are still executing these search warrants and going through this location. I've conducted hundreds, arguably close to 1,000 search warrants in my time with the NYPD. And I know when you get into homes that are cluttered, it is painstaking. It's hard. You got to go through everything. Every nook and cranny inside these homes have to be looked at. And we don't know what's going on inside that home. We don't know how much clutter there is. You know, we heard from the police commissioner that he was a pack rat. So, you know, this could be, again, quite a feat for the investigators. And that's how it goes, friends. So I'm just going to give you a quick look at these police vehicles, one after the other. This is a 24-hour detail, one after the other. Kimberly Culp, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Heidi Cakes, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Put this so it's level. I don't know how much juice I have left in this gimbal, but hopefully it lasts for the ride out to, we're going to be heading out to Gilgo, folks. So hopefully that lasts. That's what we got going on. Massapequa Park, Long Island. And again, like I said, as an NYPD retired detective, I have done these search warrants time and time again. You know, we've been in homes where there's massive clutter and have to go through everything. You know, no stone could be left unturned. Thank you, Eddie T. Always great to see you. I did see forensics guys in PPE. Yes, Corinne, we're going to go on another road trip. Tara Ellis, great to see you. Thank you. I see a bunch of green members. Let me just say thank you to the members. Quick, stand by. I'm doing this with one hand. Tara, thank you for becoming a member. Pamela, thank you for becoming a member. And Miss Renee M, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. I hope the law enforcement chaplain is taking care of the guys. I would imagine so. I would imagine so. Is there any path to the Moth or beach from there? Negative. There is not. Ed Wallace is in the chat. I can see Ed. I'm outside at the location. I took a ride down here. The sun is down. The bugs are starting to come out. I got long sleeves on. I got long pants on. And I plan to go out to the beach to let you guys see what it looks like at darkness. Now, I don't know if my live stream will continue on and this gimbal will give me enough juice to go down to the beach, but we're live here we're going to stay live for 30 minutes here, and then I'm going to get out of here and then take a ride down to the beach. But again, here is a look up the sidewalk, and I'm going to go right here because I see News 12 is right next to me, but they're not doing any live coverage at this point. So let me change my camera. Okay, so there's telephoto. So that's what we got happening right now. You have, those are New York State police, probably crime scene or crime lab guys. You had a detective in a suit there outside of the location. And you can also see, I might get a little bold here. You can see guys coming out Still a lot of activity going on. Not quite sure, obviously, what's going on, but they got a lot of work to do inside there. So that's what we have going on from here right now. I'll stay zoomed in here. Again, this is straight up the sidewalk. You can see investigators with PPE on going inside the house. Look right here, right there. You can see them. They're going to the backyard. There's a female with full PPE on. I'm whispering because the camera guy's next to me. Are you recording? Okay. All right. So I don't have to whisper. I'm trying to be polite. All right. So I don't have to whisper now. So basically, you could see them going from the front, out the front door, which is right here, going into the backyard. You see, there's a gentleman in full PPE with a mask on, going into the backyard. Yeah, it is a 24/7 operation. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if either somebody from the media or outside the media tried to get to the backyard, but the police probably told them to get the F out. But everybody's got a job to do when it comes to coverage, but they are going from front to back. And that's the best view that I could give you. It's in the 80s, but the humidity from last night to tonight is night and day. Humidity is low now, so it's not as bad as what it was. In the chat, did you guys, just by a show of hands in the chat, are you guys able to see the members of the service sort of from the crime lab going in and out? You see them coming back out with boxes now. So they just came out of the backyard with a box. They're going to that truck. Here's more PPE going in the house with cardboard boxes, not made up yet. So they got tons of stuff coming in and out, folks. Look right here, right where my finger is. That's where the action is. So they're going from the backyard to the front, from inside the house out. There goes somebody back into the backyard, and they are loading up evidence into that box truck that's backed up in the driveway. There's actually two of them. There's also a forensic van right there. You see someone coming out now. There's a female coming out of the backyard with a box taped up. Yeah, so there's a lot of activity still going on here at this time, folks. And detectives are in the street. I'll give you a little pull over here. You got detectives straight out in the street here watching. And they're on site here just in case there was a major recovery or something that's not just routine that they're taking out of that house. And that's the reason you have personnel from probably major case homicide, the crime lab, and so forth. They're all here. So, yeah, the sun, we got in about, you guys know what time it is? So it's 8 o'clock. We only probably got another 15, 20 minutes of sun at this time. So there they are with bags. right here. We got the, when you see brown paper bags, that's for serology or blood evidence, stuff like that. You know, they use those brown bags. That's the bag that you see on the ground, folks. Those are particularly for serology. That could be articles of clothing and so forth. It could be anything, but it's typically used to collect serology, biological type evidence. So this is over 10 days later. They're still doing this. Yes, Allison. Oh my God is appropriate. A special shout out to News 12 Long Island for not chasing me away from him while I'm talking here, talking cop stuff here. Hopefully he's picking up on some of my tips for his reporter so they can accurately depict what's happening here. I'm going to be permanently banned from News 12 in interviews at this point. Just kidding. We love News 12 Long Island. So this is the best view that I could give you with my iPhone 14 Pro. Again, it's one house here on the corner, and then Heuermann house next. That's what we have going on. As you can see, detective in the blue suit right there. Female with PPE going straight to the driveway. And you can see out there's a female detective with no PPE, but she's outside, not going in, and there's another one fully PPE'd up. Straight over here. Yeah, the search warrant obviously here is for the entire home. It's not for specific locations. The judge signed off on the entire home. You see they're in the basement. You see they're in the main part of the house. So this is a general search warrant for everything and anything. The whole contents of the entire home. I would bet my pension on that. Don't come and try to take my pension away though. No, but seriously, it's for the whole home. All right, I'm gonna switch back to the regular lens. It's not gonna break a sweat here. We go back ultra wide. All right, here's back ultra wide. Dawn Marie and the moderators, thank you for being. Yeah, it's a sharp dressed detective. Yes, most detectives take pride in their appearance, especially on a high profile case like this. You're going to want to dot your I's and cross your T's. And that's what we want, a good investigation. We want them to do everything correct. Oh, that's a desk view. I was wondering what that was. Okay, so that's just a look down. Back triple camera. Oh, wow. I'm starting to explore all the cameras on this phone. That's the back triple camera. It's probably a pretty good view. Dual wide. Gotta tell you, shout out to iPhone for the cameras. Pretty cool. Very good. All right. That's what we'll leave it on right there. So, yeah, pretty good views. You want me to zoom in? I'll keep it zoomed in. I know exactly what to do with the zoom. Hold on. Let's go to the zoom. There's your zoom. There's your zoom. I wanted to get you the best one. Thank you for the $11 super chat. Who came from Hobbies. Doesn't Heuermann remind you of True Detective? That's a good one. I'll highlight that one on the screen. Everyone's starting to pack it in here. So looks like they may be wrapping up the investigation for the night or removal. Thank you. So it's another look inside well, towards the front of the home. So that's going to give you the best view there. I'm going to pack it in here in a few moments, friend. So this is the best that I could give you right now. So again, it's the second house from the corner. This is the corner house. And then that's the best view I could give you guys at this time. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And again, these guys have a stand here, but it really doesn't give you much more of a view. This is what you got. And yes, thank you, Lisa Marie. So a couple of state crime lab guys right here talking to this detective. I'm going to assume he's from the Suffolk County or Nassau County. And there's a sergeant. I'm going to take it off of Zoom and go back. Alex, the neighbors are not upset with the traffic. The actual neighbors are pretty supportive. So yeah, I haven't been really scanning the chat aggressively, but thank you to the mods. Appreciate it. Allison BD, the neighbors are taking this real well because most of these neighbors here are retired either police or firemen or active police or firemen and or supportive of, first responders. So not, I'm sure they'd want to just wrap this up and get on with their lives, but not bad. I mean, here, neighbors are sit on their front lawn, doing their thing. This is something that they have no control of. They didn't know that this was happening. They're victims as well here. They're victims of this crazy guy's, innocent until proven guilty, but they're victims. They're just as much victims, the neighbors here. So, thank you. I'm not sure when his house was built, but it's not new. I'll tell you that right now. His house is not new. So I'm going to take a walk back to the car. Again, I'll do what I can here, but I can't really even technically go into the street. But this is where the media sets up. When you see News 12 and News Nation and so forth, Exotic Dolls, I bet You know, listen, I didn't see what the comment was, but yeah, some of the neighbors are probably pissed. But this is a beautiful neighborhood, and again, they just want to get on with their lives. They want to just move on from this. They want to see justice served for the victims and any additional victims. And again, we're outside of Rex Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park, Long Island. This is Crime Time with DutyRon. If you're not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Hitting the thumbs up. If you guys all, while you're here now, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and you have all notifications on. So this way you can get notified when we go live or upload a video here. So this is the situation from Massapequa Park, Long Island. This is only 15 miles from my home where I live. This is 15 miles east of my home. And again, lots of friends, lots of people who I know that live in Massapequa Park and Massapequa. JMM, thank you for being here. Eddie T, Justice for the Victims. Let me highlight that real quick. There's Eddie T. Thank you. Vape King saying, oh, wow. Yeah, this is close. This is a home local story to Crime Time with DutyRon. Myself, my wife, my kids, my family, we're all impacted by this, just like everybody else that's watching this, but more so because this is Nassau County, Long Island. This is where I grew up. I have my family. My father lives in Suffolk County. So parts of my family, my brother lives in Suffolk County, my stepbrother, you know, I have tons of family in both Nassau and Suffolk County. So we're going to take a ride now to Gilgo Beach. And I'm going to go into the Oak Beach community, the Oak Beach Association, where Shannon Gilbert lost her life. And we're going to drive that route at night in the dark. Hopefully my battery stays up and you guys can see the location and you can see how dark and how gloomy. It's just a 20-minute ride from here, but how dark and how gloomy that Oak Beach Association is at nighttime and how Ocean Parkway is at night. Don't forget, my last live stream I did with you guys, it was at daytime, beautiful, daylight. And now you're going to get to see what it looks like at night, how dark it is. I'll turn out the headlights and you could see how dark it is. So stick around. This is going to be the second half of Crime Time with DutyRon, heading out to Gilgo Beach and also into the association where Shannon Gilbert, you know, she's the hero here. She lost her life. And as a result of that, these additional victims were recovered and discovered because of Shannon Gilbert. So we cannot forget her loss and what she did for these silent victims. Kristen, good to see you. Let's unpack that. Thank you for joining. I hope Chris is doing well. He could have dumped the bodies by boat. I don't think that that's a strong possibility, but one never knows, does one? I don't know. Could have done that. But that's just, you know, that's just everybody making their guesses. You know, we don't know. We don't know if he did that. That's what the reporters are talking about dumping by boat. But I don't see it. That's an added danger for him. Getting in a car and driving real quick, I think that is probably what he did. So this is it. I'm walking away from the location. They have this poor family here at this house. They cannot even go into their driveway. There's crime scene tape on their driveway. Look at this. Boom. Can't even park your car in here. So thank you, Jana. Appreciate it. Thank you. Guys, if you like this type of on-scene, in real life type coverage, please hit the thumbs up right now. You know, let's get the YouTube algorithm working. And I'm going to shut the camera down. And we're going to take a ride out to the beach. I'm going to set this up in my vehicle. Hopefully it's not too bumpy. And we're going to take a ride. out to Gilgo. By a show of hands in the chat, who's interested in seeing that? I know we're 45 minutes into this thing. Should I end this and start a new one when I'm down there, or do you want to take the ride as it gets dark just to see the landscape and the road? I think if he drove, and there's a big if he drove the route that I took down the Wantagh State Parkway. He didn't go further east to go up to the Robert Moses. He now has to go past the dumping location, the location to dump allegedly these bodies, and do a U-turn, which I'll show you. You guys want to take the ride? I knew it. I knew you guys would want to take the ride. All right, let's go. Let's go take the ride. So I'm parked up over here. I'm going to shut my camera off when I get into my car because I don't want to dox myself with my license plate. Take the ride, says Sandra. How's the signal holding up? Press a 1 in the chat if it's holding up. Press a 2 if it's a little foggy. I think it's pretty good. I think we're doing good. But I'm just giving you a show of the sky. The sun is starting to set now. So this is 2nd Avenue. And again, these houses are, well, down there, the houses border. And these houses look at the front also of 1st Avenue. So it's pretty interesting. All right, let's shut the cam down. And you'll have to look at a handsome picture of DutyRon. Stay safe, guys. Thanks. So I was just saying hello to my fellow Nassau County guys. So we'll still have audio. I'm just going to set up in my car. I'm going to set the camera up, and we'll take a ride out to Gilgo. Just bear with me, friends. This may be difficult to do. I'm going to try to make it work the best I can. Give me a second to set everything up. Just remember, like when I start driving, I'm not going to be able to look at the chat, obviously. So I get situated in the car, put my seatbelt on, and set up the GPS. Thank you to everybody who's hanging out here. Again, I thought of maybe doing a second live, and ending this one and starting another one. But I think this will be fine. Let's see what we've got going on here. Give me 2 seconds. So I'm in my wife's car, and the problem is that she doesn't have like a windshield mount, so I got to keep you guys on the gimbal, and with keeping you guys on the gimbal, I have to kind of hold on to it. It's kind of an unorthodox way of doing it, but we'll do it. Gilgo Beach. All right, so it's a 21-minute ride from here, and it's 15 miles. I'll just give you I'll give you guys a look. So it's 21 minutes from Rex Heuermann's home, 15 miles. You guys see that? That's how close it is. All right, and this is going to be the view, unfortunately. Let's see if I can put this here. Hold on a second. Let me just see something, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to try to work this out. because I don't want you to have to see. Ah, there you go. How is that? So I don't want you to have to see the rear view mirror. So that's the best view that I could give you right now from my perspective and safety. Let's take the ride. Let's do this. You guys ready? Let's start it. All right. Dawn Marie, can you hang out for the rest of this? It's only 22 more minutes, but I need mods here because I cannot look at the chat. I'm going to be driving. Dawn Marie, let me know. All right. We're leaving Rex Heuermann's home, and we are heading to Gilgo. And I'm not going to be driving over the speed limit. It's going to be just regular speed, folks. That's how we're going to do it. So let me know in the chat, by a show of hands, how the audio is and the video. I'm using AirPod Pros. It's going to get dark, and with darkness is going to come less quality on the video, but that's how it goes. You know, you have to, you know, I think that this is better than how I did it last time because I have a gimbal and it's supposedly supposed to, you know, absorb some of the shock from the bumps and so forth. But it's never going to be perfect. This is less than ideal. But we're going to take a 21-minute ride out to Gilgo, and you guys are going to see what it looks like. Dark, pitch black. And when I turn out my headlights, you're gonna see just how dangerous it is out there at night. And if you're out there at 4:30 in the morning, like Shannon Gilbert was, you know, look, people get mad when I refer to the victims as sex workers, prostitutes. There's no nice way to say it. You know, ladies of the night, you know, doing whatever they have to do to, you know, feed their habits, feed whatever's going on in their lives. But again, they're human beings. May they rest in peace, all of them. And I have a really strong feeling that that there is many more victims, not just a few, many more. So that's what I feel. And again, I can't see the chat, so I apologize to you guys. But for those of you who are joining and mods, if you can please let some of the people know, we took a daytime drive to Gilgo Beach. This is now the nighttime version. It's dusk right now, dusk to dawn. It's getting dark right now, and we only have maybe another 10 minutes of light, and we are going to go out and give you guys a view. And I'm hoping that this is decent. I'm at a red light. Well, now it's green, so I can't look. So we're going through town, the main part of town. We're coming up to Sunrise Highway, friends. So Sunrise Highway, we're going to bang a right. We're going to go west, and it's going to take us to the Wantor State Parkway. And a Wantor State Parkway is going to lead us down to Jones Beach. We're going to go through that roundabout at Jones Beach down to Ocean Parkway. We're going to pass the Jones Beach Amphitheater, and I'll spare you guys the blinker. When we get to the amphitheater, then we will bang a left and we will head. Let me look at the chat real quick. Hey, Karen, Legal Mind and Friends. Good to see you. Sunset in New York is 8:21 and it's 8:24. So it's not completely down, but it's, as you can see, the sky. Retired Irish Detective, Richella Pranzo, Richella and Pete, great friends. Crime Time with DutyRon. Love you guys. We were out in Sag Harbor yesterday. We visited with Barbara Butcher. She was doing a book signing for her book. She's a retired legal medical death investigator, chief of staff at the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. I got her to sign a bunch of books, and we're going to send out and mail out to the two winners of the book, signed books. And then there's 8 more books that I have that I'm going to be giving away on live streams. It's her book is What the Dead Know, and it's her memoir of all of her work as a medical examiner, as a legal medical death investigator. Okay, so let's get settled in. And now I'm not looking at the chat anymore. My blinker goes on. We're doing this by the book, everybody. And shout out to everyone who's hanging in there with us as we make this trip. This is a look west on Sunrise Highway. And from here, friends, we are going to get on to the Wantagh State Parkway going south. And for those of you in the chat who know these, fireworks on to the left. I just saw fireworks going up over here on the left of your screen. For those of you in the chat who are local to Long Island, and if you're on the replay, let me know in the comment section if you're familiar with this roadway, Sunrise Highway, westbound, Massapequa Park. And we will pass the Massapequa Park train station. And the train station right here, friends, to the right, as you can see, the train station right here to the right, that's the train station that Rex Heuermann took to go into New York City to his office when he traveled by train. So this is it. We just passed it. Interesting that we are going past all the routes that this, as the Suffolk County Police Commissioner described him, this evil demon traveled. He obviously and undoubtedly has driven on this roadway. And this arguably could have been the route that he took. And news reports are reporting that sources close to the investigation, and I hate that terminology, but news reports are reporting sources close to the investigation say that Rex Heuermann murdered one or more of the 3 victims that he stands charged with. And hopefully sooner than later, he'll be charged with the 4th. And we'll also be able to get closure on these additional cases before in Atlantic City and others, perhaps in South Carolina and the various other locations where Rex Heuermann has traveled. We see drone footage of his brother's property. It looks like it's also equally in despair. And by a show of hands in the chat, who's seen that? That is fascinating. That tells me that this is not just a Rex problem with hoarding and being a pack rat, as Rodney Harrison said. This is, his brother is perhaps like that as well. You know, look at his property from that drone footage. Now, I don't know how many people are saying that they saw the drone footage, but I saw it and it was troubling. I was like, holy shit. Trying to keep it a family friendly live stream, but I was like, wow. He's just as he's a clutter person, a hoarder, if you will. Wow, that's some music this guy's playing next to me. Whew. One of those open 3-wheel vehicles, pretty cool. So again, I'm going real slow, guys. The GPS said it's 15 miles from Rex Heuermann's home to Gilgo Beach, 22 minutes by car. And, you know, I got a lot of comments on the last video that my wife and I did during the day. And the comments were like, wow, this is really far to travel with remains in your car. Remember Joel Rifkin, Joe Rifkin was caught, serial killer, back in the 80s, early 90s, late 80s. He was caught driving with with human remains in his vehicle. So, and he was caught because of a traffic. I think one of his lights were out, or he had an accident, a minor fender bender, headlight was out, or something was out, and he was driving around. I think it was on the Wantagh State Parkway, this parkway that we're going on. But he was a little bit more north. And where the hell was he going with that body? And he was interviewed and was asked, "Hey, if you weren't caught, would you have continued to kill?" And he said he didn't even think about it. He said yes. So again, it's not out of this world to think that Rex Heuermann, in fact, took this route with human remains in his car to the ultimate location that you guys will all see on here. Thank you to the super chatters. I should have been looking at the red lights, but I didn't. I apologize. These little three-wheel vehicles to the left of me are playing music so loud that I'm trying to talk over it so YouTube doesn't pick up on it and crush the live stream. So we're now coming up to the Wantagh State Parkway heading south. And the south sign up in front of us is going to say Jones Beach. You'll see it lit up right up here in your view right now. It says Jones Beach, but this takes you to Jones Beach, to Ocean Parkway, to Gilgo. And then we're going to be on the ocean side, and we're going to go and hook a U-turn. First, we're going to go down into where Shannon Gilbert was ultimately killed. And I believe she was killed. I don't believe that was an accident. Dr. Bodden was hired by John Ray to do an independent autopsy of Shannon Gilbert. And I want to say, too, let her mom rest in peace as well. Mom was murdered by her own daughter. Daughter lost her mind and thought the mom was a demon and stabbed her like 18 times. So Shannon Gilbert's mom, also a victim here. But I don't believe that she died from an accident. I mean, there's people that argue and say that she was high and that she was, going through some type of episode of manic moment, or it's described many different ways. I don't know what's happening here. Maybe I'm losing power with the gimbal. Yikes. Well, if that happens, then I'll have to make a little bit of an adjustment, but it's like tilting. It's tilting to the right and the left. Hopefully it holds up for the ride. If not, I'll just hold it. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, I could do this. So, may all these victims rest in peace. And at the end of the day, we want these investigators to get it right. The Gilgo Task Force that was created by Chief Rodney Harrison, February 1st of 2022, and then they were 5 weeks later on to Rex Heuermann on March 14th of 2022. We want these guys to get this investigation right and go out there, shake the tree up, and if he's in fact responsible for additional murders, we want him to close those cases. Las Vegas, he had a timeshare there, right? So timeshares, as we know, you get assigned a timeshare unit and you get different units, but I don't know what he had exactly. But at the end of it all, Las Vegas is home to lots of things, right? And ladies of the night work in Las Vegas. So Could there be a lot of open cases for missing, prostitutes or missing person reports? Yeah, I think they got a lot of work to do. So let's hope and pray that they can get to the bottom of things and start doing their investigation. And it's a lot of work, guys and girls. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a lot of work, and they got to do it. And no matter how many personnel needs to jump on board on this thing, we'll hope and pray. All right, so we hope and pray that all the victims, if in fact Rex Heuermann is involved in multiple murders, we need him to be charged and face justice. And based on these 3 and potentially 4 victims, it's enough to obviously put him away for the rest of his life. New York State does not recognize the death penalty. In 1996, George Pataki was the governor, and he reinstituted, and this is a look at the shore of Ocean Parkway straight ahead, by the way. It's just a short look, and I know it's dark, so you guys aren't going to be able to see it. But George Pataki, he in '96 put the death penalty back on the table, and he was instrumental in prosecuting a couple of cases for the death penalty, and one of those cases was the murder of P.O. Kevin Gillespie. My partner, fellow squad member who worked with me in PSA 2 on the overnights was killed March 14th. It's funny because March 14th is when Heuermann was identified, and just a date that rung out in my mind. But it is what it is. I'm hoping that they that they move forward and do what they got to do to bring justice. And just for these 4 victims, these Gilgo 4, if he's found guilty of all 4 of them, he's toast. You know what I mean? He won't see the light of day again. He'll be in for the rest of his life. But there is no death penalty in the state of New York. It's not on the books. So that's what we got. All right, so we're down here at Jones Beach now. We're going to be coming up to the circle. The amphitheater is on the left. And then we're going to be officially down onto Ocean Parkway once we come past this roundabout here. Let me know in the chat. I can't see it. If the audio is good. I know that the video is not going to be great because of the darkness. You can see my headlights. But we're going down to Gilgo for a nighttime look. And I'm not sure if many people or live streamers have been down here. There may have been a lot of people down here doing live streams, but I haven't seen one yet. So I think I saw the news down here. I think I saw Mary Murphy from News 12 down here at night, or it might have even been during the day. But I definitely saw one of the news outlets down here at darkness, but not pitch black. So let me know in the comments down below or in the comment section if you guys have seen that. Just give me a second. I got to fix something. Give me a second. You see motorcycles and there's people still driving around down here. Just give me 2 seconds. All right, guys? Hold on. Okay, guys, back. So the gimbal lost its power, unfortunately, but it's all good. I'm just holding the camera on the selfie stick. So that works. I think it works. just not as solid. So when I get out here, I'll put it into the locked mode, and then we'll take a look down the Oak Beach Association, where Shannon Gilbert unfortunately met her demise. So we're on the beach, the ocean side. Over here to the right is the ocean side. The area where the bodies were recovered and found are on the bay side, on the left. And we'll hook around, and I'll show you that towards the end. We'll get to the bay side towards the end. So I'm doing 58 miles an hour. I'm staying within the speed limit. There's a lot of people who speed on this road. A lot of people actually take Ocean Parkway to avoid, like, there's not a lot of police traditionally on Ocean Parkway. So not many tickets get handed out. I'm not saying that no tickets get handed out here. But in my experience over time, you know, being a lifelong Long Islander, like, Ocean Parkway is a place where you want to go and open up your vehicle to see how powerful it is or how fast it goes. It's not something I condone or something that I would do, but traditionally is wide open city, and here's the ocean, and there's the bay. So doing the 60 now. That's my next. Again, this is a good depiction of how this starts to get. And in another 15 minutes at 9 o'clock, it's 8:41 right now, but at 9 o'clock, this is going to be like pitch black. You're not going to be able to see. There's no street lights, as you can see. Zero street lights. There is no lighting on Ocean Parkway. And I think back in the 2010 or earlier, in that time, the pavement that is now there and the guardrail, it was not there like what's here to the right. There's no guardrail to the right. You could pull your car onto the right and get out. On the left-hand side, on the bay side, while it isn't like that now, you can get out and walk on it. But when these remains were left there, I don't even like to use the word dumped there, but when the remains were left there, there was no guardrail, and you could pull over onto the side of the road. Now you can't do that with a car, but you still can do it on the ocean side. I'm hoping that you guys can see this good, and I'm hoping that the audio is still good. I have no way of checking because I'm keeping my eyes on the road and my hands on the wheel. Well, one hand on the wheel. This is where a Tesla would come in handy with automatic driving. This is where a Tesla would come in handy with automatic driving, where you can take your hands off the wheel, just let the car drive for you. I personally would never trust that. I couldn't trust it. Like, I just wouldn't ever be able to trust a completely auto driving car. So I would have to have my hands on the wheel at all times. I just couldn't trust it. All right, so I'm waiting for the sign for Gilgo. We haven't seen it yet, but as you can see, it's getting darker. And we are heading out to, we're close to Gilgo right now. Let's take a look at some of the signs. So we're gonna have to drive past Gilgo a few miles, and then we'll pull off to the side, and I will drive down that road, the association. And you guys are gonna freak out when you see how dark it is down there. But I'm gonna first stop and fix. All right, so I see people riding bicycles on that path to the left here. And that path, again, was not there in the early 2000s. So we are on Ocean Parkway, arriving at Gilgo Beach right now. So we're in the Gilgo area, right as we speak. Just hit the Gilgo area. Now with cars driving, it lights the road up. But if you shut the lights out when it's pitch black, it's again, it is. I've been down here at night, and it is as dark yet. So we just passed the Gilgo Beach parking lot on the left. And there may be people that ask in the chat, hey, there's the maps, as you're driving, it's like hard to sit and say, okay, here is, spot, here's remains number one, remains number two. I have that. This is a part of the beach where you can drive on with a four-wheel drive vehicle. And now we're going to be going out towards Oak Beach. This is where the Parkway narrows from 3 lanes to 2. And Gilgo Beach, there's the turnaround for Gilgo Beach. So now we're going beyond Gilgo, down into that zone where Shannon Gilbert went for the visit, the home visit at 4 something in the morning. And don't crucify me for the date. I think it was May 10th, I want to say. And if I'm wrong, just correct me in the comment section. So it was a May 10th. And then her remains were recovered in December, around December 13th or ish. I don't have all my notes in front of me, so please don't crucify me for it. I know that those are just rough dates. But here's the 2-lane road. It gets real narrow. And this is less than desirable to be in at night. And if you don't know this area, which we heard Shannon Gilbert on the 911 call, she admitted that she didn't even know where she was. She's on Long Island. 911, they were horrible. Both the dispatchers from the state and from Suffolk County, they were terrible. But they were both saying to her, do you know where you are? She's on Long Island, but I don't know where. She didn't know the address. One of the first things I learned and was taught when I was a rookie police officer, my field training officer said to me, always know the address of the building that you're in. Always know the address where you are. And because you'll know if you get on the radio, you're not going to tell your backup where you are. So you have to know where you are. And that was one of the things that I first learned when I got out in the field and was on patrol. Is every time I went into somewhere where there was a building or a location, I wrote the address on my hand. I either wrote it on my memo book page or I wrote it on my hand. So here's Cedar Beach on the right. Salt Shack is right to the right here. It's a great beach. My wife and I go to it all the time. And we're coming out. Just another short little jump from here will bring us to the location where I want to go. And I want to just look at the chat, say hello to you guys. And this is where I pulled off with Mrs. DutyRon last Sunday. And it was all flooded. It was all flooded here. And it was horrible. They had a rain and the whole place got flooded. So you couldn't really, I was worried to drive down the road because I thought it would be flooded. So again, I'm sorry that I'm rambling. It's just that I don't want to just have, no conversation on the live. But yeah, so this is how far she drove out from what she and the driver said was New York City. He said, come on, let's go back to New York City. So she had no idea where she was. And I used to write down addresses on my hand. Tour. I had ink all over my hand, washed my hands to get all the addresses off my hands. So that's a little bit of insight into the rookie DutyRon when he first started a high-risk patrol in 1991. I had a lot of addresses written on my hand. I would come home and my wife would be like, "Why is there ink on your hand?" Like, "Oh, you know, I put a couple of addresses on there. It didn't fully come off." There's a little tidbit of info. Yeah, we already hit Gilgo. That was the 15 miles. I'm going beyond it to give you guys a little bit of a look, a little bit of extra to show you. You know, she's a big part of this case. Shannon Gilbert, I keep mentioning her, because if it wasn't for what happened to her, is arguably they would have never found these other people's remains, these other girls. So she's a huge part of this. And I'm gonna pull off here. I'm hoping that I can get into where I want to show you guys. Hoping. All right, this is it right here. So it's Oak Island Association. It's where I'm taking you guys. And this is dark right now, but I mean, I'll show you. There's no cars behind me. That's without the lights on. And it's not fully dark yet. As you can see, the sky is still lighting up a little bit. But this is the pull off Oak Beach Park. As you can see the sign right here. And the last time we came in here, who was in the chat? This whole parking lot straight in front of us was underwater. The whole thing was underwater. Remember that? So let me look at the chat. I'm going to pull off for a second here. This road that is straight ahead of us is where she went down. So let me look at the chat real quick. All right. Am I still live? Do I still have audio? Put a 1 in the chat if I still have audio. This is the road that leads down to the house that Shannon Gilbert went to. And thank you to everyone for hanging in there. This has been a little bit rough because I lost gimbal. Still live, Deco Paint T. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's go down here. This is the road that she ran on that 911 call. And I'm going to go slowly down here because I'm not familiar with this roadway, just so you know. So it's no parking anytime, Oak Beach Road. And these are like really expensive homes here, as you can see. So I'll shut the lights and show you just how dark it is. No street lights here either, folks. No street lights at all. DC Pacific Northwest says we're on an adventure. Yes, we are. So I don't know how heavily patrolled this area is, but it's a 1 lane in and a 1 lane out road. So, and I don't know if they gated this thing off, but last time I came down here, which was 2 years ago, it was not gated off. So I have a long sleeve shirt on. I don't plan to get out, but now I see there's a 1 light post right here. Oh, and there is a gate. There is a gate. I might not be able to get in. I'll see. If there's nobody here, then I'll go down. Nobody here. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I'll be able to get out. Ugh. They put lights up now. I'm hoping I'll be able to get out. So there's lights up, and there's a car with headlights here. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Oh, looks like there's a big party here and there's all cars. I'm backing up. It's very narrow and people are walking here. So I'm going to back up. I went down this road 2 years ago, but I see a bunch of people congregating, so I'm not gonna go down here. The road's really narrow and there's cars parked along the way, so I'm gonna try to go down this other way. It didn't look as congested. Maybe it's just a loop where I can go around. But it's amazing that the gate is just wide open. You could just drive in and drive out. It's crazy. You could just drive in and then drive out, which I find to be very interesting, very not secure for sure. So, I don't know. Try going down here. Maybe this will loop me around. So these are very private, very expensive residences. And it's the fairway is the street, the fairway. You know what? I'm backing out of this mission because I don't want to get lost in here. But I mean, it actually lists the house names and everything on the properties. So I'm I'm going to abort this mission because I just get a bad vibe. And when you get a bad vibe, I just say, you know what? Let's not do it. So it just gives you an idea of how, yeah, you could ride down here, but I personally wouldn't recommend it because look, shut the lights out and then I mean it is pitch black down here. And I mean I could go down this road, but it looks private. So I'm just gonna so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out here and then I'm gonna drive on the north side of the road, okay, on the bay side where the remains were left. But again, I don't have a way to get out. Like I'm afraid. See, that gate is the exit. I'm going in the entrance, but it's the Oak Island Beach Association, established in 1898, and you could see there's the roadway right there, Oak Beach, Ocean Parkway. But I'm just stop here for a second because I tell you the reason I aborted that thing, that mission, and I didn't abort it because I got I didn't abort it because I was afraid. I aborted it because it looked like a safety issue, and it is a private road. It is private. The road is private. All right, that much I will say. The road is private, right? But when I saw the people, and there was a couple of little kids walking on the side of the road, I just said to myself, it's not safe to drive down there because God forbid one of these little kids or more little kids come out in that narrow road with the cars parked on the right. I just said, you know, this could be a disaster. So that's my law enforcement sense. And I said, it's just not worth it and I'm not familiar with the bends in the road. And I know it goes around in a loop in a circle because I looked at the map and then it goes at one point to a dead end. But once I saw the little kids walking with their parents, and there were little kids, like, you know, 4 years and younger, I just said no. All right, so here's the plan. And then I'm going to end this because Bill Cannon is going live in 30 minutes. You guys are all going to be going over to Police Off the Cuff. Let me say thank you to the super chatters and anybody who has become a member. Again, we are down here at the Oak Island Association. This is where Shannon Gilbert went missing, and then her remains were found sometime later. But I really believe they didn't think I was creeping loaded hot. They just didn't even look at me. They didn't even look back at me. I was looking at them from behind, and I just made a command decision that it was not safe to drive down there. It's just not worth it. If there was nobody on the road, yes, I would have driven and kept going. But if you look back, I decided to abort the mission, and it was for safety reasons. You're welcome, Valgirl. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go out onto Ocean Parkway. There's a turnaround which will put us on the bay side. I stopped here because I wanted to get a little darker because it's still a little light. I wanted to get a little darker so you could see just how treacherous the road is. And it is treacherous. Oh, I just spilled the water. My wife's not going to be happy about that. Whoopsie doozy. A little water is not going to hurt anybody. But I'm going to have to clean that up. Just a teeny bit. It was just a sip. Anyways. All right. So let's do it. Let's rock and roll slowly. So when we go on the bay side of Ocean Parkway, that is where Rex Heuermann allegedly deposited the remains of the Gilgo Beach 4. That's with the lights out. And my daytime running lamps on this car, I can't shut them off. But that's with the lights on, that's with them off. You can't see the road. Can't see anything. But I mean, if you look at these homes here. I don't know if you can see them, but they're set back. That's the Oak Island Association. These are really exclusive beachfront homes. It's the ocean to the left there. So again, I'll shut the lights out again. And you can see just the dimming running lights. And this is a big, beautiful home right here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if that's coming through, but probably not. You guys see that? I don't know how well that it's lit up in the backyard. So right here, big, beautiful home. I'll roll the window back. How many of you were in the chat when I was here last week and it was all flooded? That parkway here, parking lot here to the left was all flooded, and then straight forward was all flooded as well. Now it's not flooded, and people are in the parking lot hanging out. So, all right, so we're going back out onto Ocean Parkway. This is arguably the route that whoever killed Shannon Gilbert took to get out, because this is the only way out right here. And then we're going to go up and we'll do the roundabout here. So bear with me while we do this. We're on the ocean side, and now we're going to go to the north side. There's a turnaround right here. So if Rex Heuermann came down from the route that I was driving just now, the beach side, you know, the south side, he would have just come right just past this little area, went to this turnaround, and then back towards Gilgo to do what he did. Here's the bay right there. And it looks beautiful right now. And there's this walkway here. You guys can't see it because it's dark, but that's how dark it is if you shut the lights out. So this walkway to the right was not here back in the early 2000s. Now we're on the bay side, and we'll have to go a couple of miles before we get to the locations of where the remains were found and discovered in various different locations. And you could look at the map. There's maps available on my channel. This is it. I'm going to pull into Gilgo Beach and then talk to you guys, and then we'll end it over there. I'm going to actually pull into the Gilgo Beach parking lot if it's not locked. So here it says Oak Island parking on the right. We're still in this Oak Island Association, folks. And thank you to everyone who's newly subscribed. So if you're new here, I am DutyRon, retired New York City Police Detective. My co-host Ed Wallace is a retired first grade detective from the crime scene unit. And we do a lot of live streams and educational live streams from a police perspective. So if you like stuff coming from seasoned World Trade Center 9/11 first responders, Ed Wallace and myself both responded to the World Trade Center attack on our country, September 11th, 2001. Hit the subscribe button and stick around for some educational and interesting live streams. This is a, mobile live stream, which I don't do as often as I used to, but to do these because I think this gives a good depiction of how it really is here. The lights are out, and that's how dark this parkway is. There's nothing, no lights on it. This barrier to the right that you're seeing here, this barrier and the 2-lane walkway / bicycle way was not there when these crimes happened. So you were able to pull off to the side of the road, shut your lights down, and go up onto the shoulder and do whatever you have to do. This has since been erected on the north side of Ocean Parkway. And don't ask me when they put this here. There's probably somebody in the chat that knows. And you could probably Google it when they did it, but it was after all these remains were recovered. Obviously, it was after. So now you can't pull off to the side of the road, but you could still pull off on the beach side, on the south side, which doesn't make sense to me. You're making a walkway here, turtle nesting area for the next 6 miles. So you're making a walkway and a bikeway here, which is nice. And you can't pull a car off. But if you go on the south side, you still can do that. And you got the dunes and the high thickets, and the same thing as what you have here on this side. Just not as bad, probably, and not as thick. I don't know. I just figured if you do it on this side, why not do it on the other? But maybe for particular reasons they can't do it. I don't know. So we're going to pull off onto Gilgo here. We're in this location in the area where the remains were recovered here. Cedar Beach Marina is on the right. I'm going to see if I can pull in here. I don't know if I can. I'm going to try to pull into Cedar. It may be locked. Yeah, it is. It's locked. Can't get in there. Closes at night, and there's the police right there. So it's closed. Can't get in. It's a shutdown. We'll see if Gilgo will let me in, if I can get in there. And then I'll chat with you guys for a quick minute, and then we'll pull the plug. And we'll all head on over to Police Off the Cuff. He's going to be doing continual coverage with Professor Mike Geary, Rex Heuermann, and the Gilgo case. So that's going to be 9:30 in another half hour or 20 minutes from now. But let's see if I can stop in Gilgo Beach's parking lot and chat it up with you guys for a minute. Take some of the questions from the comments. But here we are. This is creepy, a little bit creepy at nighttime, but just an eerie feeling of what occurred here some 13 or more years ago. This is my home. Long Island is born and raised. Been down to these beaches umpteen times. And it's just sad that some demonic monster ruined all the good that's here, with what he did. And it's all, obviously innocent until proven guilty and so forth. But it's just terrible history. It's not something that you want. It's not something that you would, it is what it is, right? We got to, again, hope and pray that the task force can bring justice for the remaining victims that are out there, the victims that we know of, because it wasn't just these four, the Gilgo Four. You know, we're talking about 7, arguably 8 more victims. Somebody killed these people. Was it Rex Heuermann? I don't know. Let me know in the chat how you feel. Do you feel that Rex Heuermann is responsible for the death of all 10 or he was? Because I don't think, and I know from talking to forensic psychologists like Dr. Joni Johnston on YouTube and on the internet, that you don't just turn it off. You don't just stop. All right, here's the entrance for Gilgo Beach. I don't know if this is going to be closed too, because a lot of these locations will close at dark. So let's see. This is closed. Maybe. Don't know. This is kind of creepy because there's no lights in here. Whew. This area is under 24-hour surveillance. Closed from dusk to dawn. So yes, it's closed technically. So I'm gonna go over here because it looks like there's still people hanging out with the boats. And give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can park for a second here. This is the Gilgo Beach Inn right here, folks. There are still a lot of people here. And this is the Peter King Marina. So coming up right in front of me is the Gilgo Beach Bar. I don't know if you guys can see that. The Gilgo Beach Inn. I've had drinks here with my brother. And this is the entrance to the beach right there. So let me just park here for a second. I'll park under the lights. So I can see if anybody approaches. And, you gotta stay safe, right? So let's do this. All right, let's look at the chat. JW, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Oh, wow, still 1,800 people. Michelle, thank you for that super chat. I'm going to highlight them because now I'm not driving. Put your questions in the chat, and I'll try to get to them. I want to see Darlene Wolf, thank you for the $5 super chat. Towards gas, Ron. Love you, brother. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you for the super love. Where's the other one? Darlene. Mail from Gina, adding to the gas fund. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Karen says incredibly dark. Yes, it is incredibly dark. I'm standing here. There's a light right here, so that's why I'm here. But yeah, it is dark. Everyone's getting out of here because this is closed, dusk to dawn. Wow, so many super chats came in, and I can't get back to them. But thank you. I read them off. Oh, there's one. Megan Miller sends in a super chat and says, putting in for petrol. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are doing that. And I didn't even see it because I was driving. All right. So thanks, Pete. Thanks, Pete. So again, this is Gilgo. Gilgo Beach. The news has been down here reporting from this location. I get out and walk out to it, but the Gilgo Beach Inn is here. Many of us Long Islanders know this, familiar with this area. It's really nice. Joey Brooklyn, good to see you, brother. Thank you. Libby, stay safe. DutyRon, thank you. I got my glowing military. I feel safe. I feel good. Again, I had to avoid going into the association because got a little and if you go back and scroll the the comments, or you go back and scroll, you'll see what I'm talking about. And so Smitty says, you're breaking up. Oh no, cutting out. All right, that stinks. All right, guys, so let's end it on this right here. Hold on. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for being here. This ends our live stream. I appreciate everybody, and thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. Sorry about the connection. I knew the connection would eventually give out on me. So it happens, you know. The connection can't always stay good. So I'm gonna turn right here, and then we're gonna get out of here, guys. It's okay now? It's all right? I just want to show you all these boats that are partying here. Can you guys see those boats? This is the water. This is the bay right here. So everybody's partying on the boats out there. Pretty cool. They got like, fires going and all kinds of good stuff. I'm gonna go over there so you guys can see it. I'm gonna go up close so you guys can see it. I'll show you. So look, they got like they're partying along. I don't know if you could see that. They're having a good time. They're having a great time here. So this is pretty cool. All right, so let me get out of here before people start thinking like I'm being creepy. There's little kids here and there's families. So this is how it's done. This is boat life. This is beach life. Everybody's out here having a good time and hanging out. So, again, I'll shut the lights and let you see just how incredibly dark it is here. Lights out. This is how dark it is down on Ocean Parkway. Again, I go out to the roadway. I could do the same thing out there. It just gets dark. It gets super, super dark. All right, guys, you're going to be going on over to, yeah, let me come aboard and I'll never come home. My wife will kill me. So I'm on my way back home. Thank you to everyone who's given super chat. Thank you to everyone who stuck this hour and 40-minute live stream. We started out at Rex Heuermann's home and we ended it here at Gilgo Beach. All right, guys, a lot of love and respect. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat. But especially these 11 victims, the Gilgo 4, and all of the unknown victims of Rex Heuermann out there that we don't know about. So I asked the viewers, go over to police off the cuff and let them know you came from Time with DutyRon and Retired his co-host, guys, we'll see you guys there. I won't be there. I'm going to be driving home, but try to get home. Love, guys. Stand by message from the top team. That's my dog, the bird, and Gray. See you soon.